I took 3 days off and flew for 5 hours just to give my boyfriend Ethan Cole a birthday surprise. Standing outside his VIP room, I held the limited edition watch he had been talking about for half a year. Inside, there was a clinking of glasses and lively conversation, but I could clearly hear his voice, full of boasting and contempt. That Miss Sterling? Just a business marriage. Just for fun. After the wedding? Of course. I won't break things off with Ava. She's just a small star. I can just coax her. The box in my hand instantly turned ice cold, like my heart at this moment. I took 3 days off and flew for 5 hours just to give my boyfriend Ethan Cole a birthday surprise. Standing outside his VIP room, I held the limited edition watch he had been talking about for half a year. Inside, there was a clinking of glasses and lively conversation, but I could clearly hear his voice, full of boasting and contempt. That Miss Sterling? Just a business marriage. Just for fun. After the wedding? Of course. I won't break things off with Ava. She's just a small star. I can just coax her. The box in my hand instantly turned ice cold, like my heart at this moment. The door of the private room was ajar, revealing the extravagant light and sickening conversations inside. Ethan, you're amazing. You've even taken care of the Sterling family? Someone flattered. Ethan chuckled, his tone confident. Almost there. The old man is starting to give in. The Sterling Group is a huge piece of meat. Once I get it, who in the circle will dare to disrespect me? Someone else asked. What about Ava? Hasn't she been with you for quite a while? Her? Ethan's voice carried a hint of impatience. A small actress. What waves can she make? Just give her some resources to keep her happy. Besides, with her personality, can she find anyone better without me? Just wait and see. She'll make a fuss for a few days and then come back begging me. I couldn't listen anymore. A churning feeling in my stomach, not morning sickness, just disgust. I turned around silently, stepped into the elevator, and pressed the button for the first floor. The elevator mirror reflected my pale face, a deathly stillness in my eyes. Ava Miller. That's the name I use in the entertainment industry, for the sake of so-called love and independence. Ava Sterling, the second young lady of the Sterling Group, hid my identity, refused help from my family, and plunged headfirst into this arena of fame and fortune. I made a bet with my father that I could stand on my own 2 feet and prove that my relationship with Ethan was unbreakable. How ridiculous it seems now. I was like a clown, writing and directing my own passionate solo performance. My phone vibrated. It was a message from my father, Shoshio, my nickname. That Cole boy has been trying to propose marriage again recently, but I have explicitly rejected him. That boy is not good enough for you. The message was sent a week ago. It turns out that my father had seen through Ethan's true colors long ago, but he didn't expose him out of consideration for my feelings. And I was foolishly thinking that my father was old-fashioned and looked down on Ethan's background. The elevator door opened. I walked out of the hotel lobby, and the cold wind blew, making me a little more awake. The watch box in my hand was digging into my palm, making it ache. I walked to the trash can outside the hotel and, without the slightest hesitation, threw the expensive box, along with the watch inside that represented 3 years of my foolishness, into it. A soft thump sounded, like the sound of me breaking away from the past, back in my small apartment near the film set. My phone rang again. It was Ethan Cole. I looked at the name jumping on the screen and only felt irony. The call connected, and a noisy background and his slightly drunk voice came from the other end. Ava? Where are you? It's my birthday today. Why didn't you come? His tone carried his usual desire for control, as if my absence was an offense to him. Something came up. I can't make it. My voice was as calm as a stagnant pool of water. He seemed a little unhappy. What could be more important than my birthday? Didn't you say you had a surprise for me? The surprise is off, I said blandly. I'm wrapping up filming here soon. We'll talk about it then. Wrapping up filming? He paused, as if thinking about something. Okay, when you wrap up filming, I'll throw you a party. His tone was condescending, as if this were a great gift to me. I didn't say anything more and hung up the phone directly. It's over, Ethan Cole. Between us, it's completely over. A week later, my scenes were successfully wrapped up. My assistant Chloe helped me pack. She looked at the pile of small gifts for Ethan that I hadn't had time to send, sitting in the corner, and hesitated. Throw them away, I said. Chloe was stunned for a moment, then quickly reacted. Okay. She quickly packed those things and asked, what about the things at Ethan's apartment? I used to keep some daily necessities in Ethan's apartment for convenience. Let's clear everything out, leaving nothing behind. Chloe nodded and went to take care of it immediately. On the day of the wrap party, Ethan indeed called, his tone full of enthusiasm. Ava, congratulations on wrapping up filming. I've chartered a cruise ship tonight to throw you a wrap party. You have to come. I guessed his intention, which was nothing more than to stage a scene of a prodigal son returning and deeply regretting his past in front of everyone. Or, if I didn't know what was good for me, to embarrass me in public. He was certain that I couldn't leave him, certain that I would be like before, no matter what he did. As long as he coaxed me a little, I would return to his side. Unfortunately, he miscalculated. Okay, I agreed. Some debts should be settled face to face. At night, a gentle river breeze blows, and the cruise ship is brightly lit. I was wearing a simple black dress and walked up alone. Ethan saw me, his eyes lit up, and he immediately came up to greet me, intimately wanting to put his arm around my waist. I avoided it without a word. A flicker of displeasure flashed in his eyes, but it was quickly covered by a smile. Ava, you're here. You're the star tonight. The party was lively, with many familiar faces from the entertainment industry, mostly there for Ethan Cole's sake. He pulled me into the center of the crowd, picked up the microphone, and said in a loud voice, "Everyone, thank you for coming to Ava's wrap-up party. I'd also like to take this opportunity to announce something." He paused, looking at me intently, as if waiting for my reaction. Then, he snapped his fingers, and someone immediately brought up a huge gift box. "Ava, I know we had some misunderstandings recently," he said passionately. "This car, the latest sports car, is for you. I hope you like it. From now on, let's be good together." A chorus of envious exclamations and cheers rang out. Everyone was looking at me, waiting for me to be moved to tears and throw myself into his arms. Ethan had a confident smile on his face. I took the car key he handed me, weighed it in my hand, and then, in his astonished gaze, threw the key back into his arms. The crisp clatter was particularly clear in the noisy surroundings. "Ethan Cole." I picked up another microphone beside me, my voice not loud, but clear enough to be heard throughout the entire venue. "Let's break up." The whole venue fell silent instantly. Ethan's smile froze on his face, his expression shifting from astonishment to disbelief, and finally to angry embarrassment. "Ava Miller, what do you mean?" he almost roared. "Don't push your luck. What are you doing? Making a scene here with me?" "Make a scene?" I sneered. "I'm just informing you. You should give this car to someone else, like Miss Sterling, who can help you achieve a business marriage." I deliberately emphasized the words Miss Sterling. Ethan's face instantly turned pale, and his eyes were filled with panic. He probably didn't expect that I would know about this. You are talking nonsense." He tried to cover up. "Whether I am talking nonsense or not, you know it clearly in your heart." I was too lazy to talk nonsense with him, picked up my handbag, and turned to leave. "Ava Miller," Ethan roared furiously from behind. "Stop right there. Who do you think you are? Without my resources, you're nothing in the entertainment industry. Let me tell you, if you walk out of this door today, don't even think about getting another decent role again." I turned a deaf ear to his threat. Leaving him, I will only live better. I walked down the steps without looking back, completely abandoning the noise and the man behind me. In a few days, it spread around the industry that Ethan Cole had a new love, a small model named Olivia Reed. Even more ironically, the sports car he originally planned to give me was given to Olivia instead. Olivia flaunted around town in that car, and even posted photos on social media with the caption, "Thank you, E, for the gift. I love it." A bunch of people below left blessings, and took the opportunity to step on me, saying I didn't know what's good for me and missed a golden opportunity like Ethan. I just found it ridiculous. Soon, I met Olivia Reed on a new film set. She's the third female lead in this drama, and it's said that Ethan Cole spent money to get her in. She saw me, walked over on purpose, sized me up and down, and said with a tone of boasting and provocation, "Oh, isn't this Sister Ava? What's wrong? Dumped by Ethan, and now you can only play the second female lead in this low-budget web series?" I ignored her and looked down at the script, but she wouldn't let me go. "I heard you were quite arrogant at the party that day, and you even dared to dump Ethan in public. You really don't know the immensity of heaven and earth, but it doesn't matter. Ethan said he made a bet with me that in less than a month, you will definitely cry and go back to beg him." She covered her mouth and laughed, smugly saying, "When the time comes, you'll have to call me sister-in-law." I finally looked up and glanced at her indifferently. "Really? then I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. Also, next time you want to provoke someone, please find a more intelligent reason. The car he gave you was a second-hand one that I didn't want. Olivia's face flushed instantly, so angry that she couldn't speak. Looking at her flustered and exasperated appearance, I didn't feel any joy in my heart, only endless fatigue. I once thought that my encounter with Ethan was a gift from fate. We first met at a charity gala. He was elegant, spoke with humor, and took the initiative to talk to me. Later, when he learned that I was working hard in the entertainment industry, he took extra care of me, introduced me to resources, and helped me solve problems. He knew I didn't want to rely on my family, so he accompanied me in my struggle. Those sweet times, now that I think about them, are like sugar coated with poison, every detail revealing hypocrisy and calculation. He was nice to me only because he mistakenly thought I was some Cinderella with a little talent who needed him to save her. If he had known from the beginning that I was Ava Sterling, would he still have treated me this way? I'm afraid he would only have been more attentive and calculating. Feeling mentally drained, after finishing the day's scenes, I drove home. This is the first time I've been home since the breakup. My parents saw me and didn't ask much. They just prepared a table of dishes I love. At the dinner table, I took the initiative to confess. Dad, Mom, Ethan Cole and I broke up. My mother was stunned for a moment, then put down her chopsticks and took my hand. Good riddance. That boy looked like he had ulterior motives. Not good enough for our show. My father also nodded, his tone serious. I told you long ago, you can't judge people by their appearance. That Cole boy is too ambitious and his methods are dirty. This time, he wanted to use marriage to climb up our Sterling family. His calculations were loud and clear. I rejected him several times, but he still didn't give up. So, everything was as I expected. My father had long seen through Ethan's hypocrisy, but he didn't expose it in order to protect me. Dad, Mom, I'm sorry, I was too willful before. I choked up a little. Silly child, my mother said, touching my head with affection. It's good to be back. Home will always be your harbor. My father also softened his tone. It's good that you know you were wrong. Tell us what you want to do in the future. Don't carry everything on your own. The support and understanding from my family is like a warm current, dispelling the haze in my heart. I secretly resolved that I couldn't let those who care about me down again. However, things didn't end so easily. Soon, I discovered that several resources that had been agreed upon had inexplicably fallen through. Instead, Olivia Reed got those roles and endorsements. Negative rumors about me also started to appear online, saying that I acted like a diva, had a bad temper, and climbed up the social ladder with the help of a sugar daddy, etc. It's obvious that Ethan Cole is behind this. He's retaliating against me, trying to force me to give in. That day, my agent David found me with a grim face / Ava, the new drama Urban Traces from Horizon Pictures, originally scheduled for you as the female lead. Now the production company is a little hesitant. / Why? I frowned. David sighed / They said. Someone from the investor side gave instructions. The producer asked me to tell you that there's a dinner tonight. Mr. Peterson, a major shareholder of Horizon Pictures, will also be there, and he wants you to go and offer him a toast. Perhaps things can turn around. I understood instantly. This is a typical unspoken rule of the industry, and the one pushing all of this behind the scenes is undoubtedly Ethan Cole. He not only wants to steal my resources, but also humiliate me in this way, forcing me to bow my head. It's truly despicable to the extreme. I / am not going. I said coldly. Ava, I know this is difficult, but this opportunity. David tried to persuade me. David, I interrupted him. If I need to rely on this kind of method to get the role, then I would rather not have it. David was silent. He knew my temper. After seeing David off, I sat alone in the empty lounge, feeling a wave of helplessness. Is this the entertainment industry I once yearned for? The one where I wanted to make a name for myself? It's full of scheming, infighting, and dirty deals. Ethan Cole's revenge is still ongoing. If I don't fight back, I'll only be at his mercy. It seems difficult to break this situation by myself. Unless, I took out my phone, hesitated for a long time, and finally dialed a number. The phone rang a few times and was answered, and a deep and magnetic male voice came from the other side. Ava? That's Noah Vance, the real power holder of Vance Holdings and a close friend of my father's. He's practically the older brother who watched me grow up. It's just that we haven't been in touch for a long time. Brother Noah, My voice was a little dry. Are you available right now? I want to ask you for a favor. Noah Vance seemed a little surprised, but his tone was still gentle. Go on. I took a deep breath and briefly explained the whole story, including Ethan Cole's revenge and the so-called dinner. I know this might be a bit of trouble, but send me the address. Noah Vance interrupted me, his tone unquestionable. I was stunned for a moment, and gave the name of the hotel and the room number. I understand, he said. Don't worry, leave it to me. After hanging up, I felt a little more at ease. Noah Vance is a true top-tier figure in the Beijing circle, keeping a low profile but with tough methods. With him stepping in, that Mr. Peterson shouldn't dare to act recklessly again. In the evening, I still went to that hotel. It wasn't to attend a dinner, but to retrieve what belongs to me. I went directly to the private room the producer had booked and pushed the door open. The private room was filled with smoke and a foul atmosphere. Several greasy middle-aged men were surrounding a heavily made-up actress, urging her to drink. The man sitting in the main seat, sporting a beer belly and with cloudy eyes, should be Peterson. Seeing me come in, Peterson's eyes lit up and he immediately beckoned me over. Oh, isn't this Ava? Come, sit next to me. The seat next to him was empty, the intention obvious. I stood at the door, not moving, just coldly watching him. Mr. Peterson, I'm here to get back the contract for the leading actress in Urban Maze. Peterson was stunned for a moment, then burst out laughing as if he had heard a great joke. Miss Ava, are you joking with me? Contract? That depends on your sincerity. His eyes scanned me wantonly, full of implications. The people next to him also joined in the heckling. That's right, Miss Ava. Mr. Peterson rarely appreciates you so much. Come and have a few drinks with Mr. Peterson. That's right. Drink this glass of wine, and the leading role is yours. I looked at their ugly faces, and my stomach churned. What if I don't drink it? I asked. Peterson's face darkened. Not drinking? Miss Ava, don't be ungrateful. Who do you think you are? If you offend me, do you think you can still survive in this industry? Just then, the door of the private room was pushed open again. A tall, powerful man walked in. He was wearing a well-tailored black suit, with a handsome face and sharp eyes, exuding an aura of intimidation that kept strangers away. This is Noah Vance. The temperature in the entire private room seemed to drop a few degrees as soon as he appeared. Seeing Noah Vance, Peterson's arrogant aura instantly disappeared, replaced by fear and flattery. Vance, Mr. Vance, what brings you here? He stood up stammering, almost knocking over the wine glass in front of him. Noah Vance didn't even look at him, walked straight to my side, took off his suit jacket, and draped it over my shoulders with a natural movement. Then, he turned his head and glanced coldly at Peterson. You dare to touch my people? Peterson was so scared that his legs went weak, and he almost knelt down. Misunderstanding, Mr. Vance. It's all a misunderstanding. I didn't know Miss Ava was your person. Now you know? Noah Vance's voice was icy. Okay. Peterson nodded vigorously. The contract. I/LL signed the contract right away. The female lead must be Miss Ava. He fumbled in his bag for the contract and handed it to me. Noah Vance took the contract for me, didn't even look at it, and threw it back in Peterson's face. Get out. Peterson was relieved, and scrambled to take his people and flee the private room. Only Noah Vance and I were left in the private room. I tugged at the suit jacket on my shoulders, which still retained a faint scent of tobacco and wood from him. Thank you, brother Noah. Why are you being so polite with me? He looked at me, his eyes softening a little. Did you feel wronged? I shook my head, but felt a little bitter in my heart. If he hadn't appeared in time, the consequences would have been disastrous. We walked out of the hotel together. As soon as we got to the lobby, my phone rang. It was Ethan Cole, but he called again, persistent. Noah Vance frowned, took the phone from my hand, answered it, and turned on the speakerphone. Ava Miller, you've got guts. How dare you hang up on me? Ethan's exasperated voice came through. Let me tell you, don't think you're so great just because someone is backing you up. That Peterson is a piece of trash. If you have the guts, let the person backing you up come out and talk to me. Noah Vance picked up the phone, spoke into the microphone, and said calmly, I am Noah Vance. The other end of the phone was instantly silent. After a few seconds, Ethan's incredulous voice trembled. Vance, Mr. Vance? Ethan Cole. Noah Vance's voice was chillingly cold. Ava is my girlfriend now. Stay away from her in the future, or you will bear the consequences. After speaking, He hung up the phone directly and blacklisted Ethan Cole's number. I stared at him in astonishment. Girlfriend? Noah Vance seemed to see my confusion and explained. A temporary measure. This will help you completely get rid of his harassment. Thank you. I lowered my head, hiding a strange emotion in my heart. Get in the car. I'll take you home, he said. I didn't refuse. The car was quiet. Noah Vance didn't ask much about Ethan and me. When we were almost downstairs at the apartment building, he suddenly said, I heard from your father that you haven't been in a good mood lately. Some things, once they're past, just let them be past, he said. People who aren't worth it don't need to be kept in your heart. I was silent. He paused, then said, Actually, I have someone I like too. My heart inexplicably tightened. Is that so? Then, congratulations. I tried my best to make my voice sound natural. He smiled and didn't say anything more. I had insomnia that night. The next day, I successfully obtained the contract for the female lead in Urban Traces. The crew quickly restarted filming. At the opening ceremony, I saw Olivia Reed again. When she saw me, her face turned ashen, and her eyes were full of jealousy and resentment. Obviously, she already knew what had happened at the dinner that day. However, she didn't dare to provoke me again. Not many days later, Ethan Cole actually brought Olivia Reed to visit the set. He drove the sports car that was originally meant for me and parked it outside the studio, making quite a scene. Olivia Reed held his arm, acting like a little bird, with a triumphant smile on her face, deliberately flaunting in front of me. Ethan Cole, on the other hand, had a condescending look, watching me with complex eyes, as if trying to see a trace of regret or jealousy on my face. Unfortunately, he was disappointed. I ignored them completely and focused on filming. Just as Ethan Cole was feeling bored and preparing to leave with Olivia Reed, a low-key luxury black Bentley stopped at the entrance of the set. The car door opened, and Noah Vance stepped out. He was wearing casual clothes today, with less of the sharp edge of the business world and more gentleness. He walked straight to me and naturally took the script from my hand. Are you tired? Brother Noah, why are you here? Just passing by. Thought I'd drop in and see you. He smiled and turned to Director Evans. Director Evans, it's my treat today. Let's have dinner together. The whole crew. Director Evans was overwhelmed and quickly agreed. Ethan Cole's face instantly turned extremely ugly when he saw Noah Vance. Especially seeing Noah Vance so close to me. The jealousy and unwillingness in his eyes almost overflowed. Noah Vance seemed not to see him, and just said to me, let's go. I'll take you to eat something delicious. As I passed Ethan Cole and Olivia Reed, I impulsively took Noah Vance's arm. Noah Vance's body stiffened slightly, but he quickly returned to normal and even slowed down to match my pace. I could clearly feel the murderous gaze that Ethan Cole was casting on my back. I could also feel Olivia Reed's face twisted with jealousy, but I don't care. At this moment, I just want to make them angry to death. The dinner was held in a private room of a nearby upscale restaurant. Noah Vance and Director Evans had a pleasant conversation, and the others accompanied them cautiously. I sat quietly next to Noah Vance eating my meal. I went to the restroom midway through. As soon as I walked out of the private room, someone blocked my way. It's Ethan Cole. His face was gloomy, and his eyes were like poison-coated knives. Ava Miller, you've become quite capable. You found a new backer so quickly? I was too lazy to pay attention to him and wanted to walk around him, but he grabbed my wrist with astonishing force. Tell me, did you get together with Noah Vance for money? How much did he give you? Enough for you to forget our 3 years of relationship so quickly. His words were filled with insult and resentment. In his eyes, if a woman left him, it must be for money, to climb the social ladder. He never thinks he is wrong. Let go. I struggled to break free, rubbing my wrist that had been pinched red, and looked at him coldly. Ethan Cole, we've already broken up. Who I'm with and why is none of your business. Put away your self-righteous thoughts. Not everyone is as dirty as you. Dirty? He seemed stimulated, and suddenly stepped closer. I'm dirty? Who was it that desperately followed me back then? Who said they loved me to death? Now that you've found someone richer and more powerful, you kick me away? Ava Miller, you are truly terrifyingly realistic. A crisp slapping sound rang out. I shook my numb hand and looked coldly at the clear 5-finger print on his face. This slap is for my blindness in the past 3 years. Ethan Cole covered his face, his eyes fierce, as if he wanted to fight. Just then, Noah Vance's voice came from behind. Ethan Cole, what do you want to do? Noah Vance came out at some point, stood beside me, and protected me behind him. His eyes were cold, with a strong sense of oppression. Ethan Cole's arrogance immediately diminished when he saw Noah Vance, but he still retorted stubbornly, "Mr. Vance, this is between Ava and me. It has nothing to do with you." "I'll say it again," Noah Vance said, his voice not loud, but every word was clear. "Ava is my girlfriend. In the future, stay away from her." "Girlfriend?" Ethan Cole sneered. "Mr. Vance, don't be fooled by her. This woman is just a gold digger. She'll do anything for resources. Her approaching you must be for ulterior motives." Noah Vance, upon hearing this, was not angry at all, but instead lowered his head and glanced at me, a meaningful smile appearing on the corner of his lips. Then, he raised his head, looked at Ethan Cole, and said in a calm tone, yet with an undeniable deterrent, "My judgment is not up for your criticism. As for you," he paused, his eyes suddenly turning cold, "if I see you harassing Ava again, or making trouble behind her back, Cole Industries might have to change its owner." Ethan Cole's face changed dramatically. He knew Noah Vance meant what he said. The strength of Vance Holdings is far from comparable to Cole Industries. "Noah Vance, don't go too far," Ethan Cole threatened, his voice strained despite his fierce expression. "Is it worth falling out with me over a woman? Whether it's worth it or not is not for you to decide," Noah Vance said calmly. "I'll be waiting to see." After speaking, he ignored Ethan Cole's livid expression, put his arm around my shoulders, and turned back to the private room. After that, Ethan Cole really calmed down for a while, but not long after. I heard from David that Cole Industries had been having problems with several large projects recently, and the capital chain had also begun to tighten. I knew without thinking that Noah Vance had taken action. One day, Ethan Cole's follower, a guy named Mark, suddenly came to the set and said he wanted to talk to me. I had Chloe take him to the lounge. As soon as Mark saw me, he started complaining with a bitter face, "Miss Ava, please have mercy and let Mr. Vance spare Ethan. If this continues, Cole Industries will really be finished. He's begging me?" I raised my eyebrows. Mark nodded quickly. Yes. Ethan knows he was wrong. He was just confused for a moment. "Please be generous. Let him come and talk to me himself." I interrupted him. Mark was stunned. "But Ethan, he doesn't dare to come?" I sneered. "Wasn't he quite brave when he humiliated me and retaliated against me? Now he knows to be afraid?" Too late. I stood up and said, "Go back and tell Ethan Cole that this is the retribution he deserves. As for whether Cole Industries lives or dies, it has nothing to do with me." Mark slunk away. I thought Ethan Cole would give up, but I didn't expect him to come up with even more disgusting tricks. A few days later, I was resting at home when I received a call from my mother, her tone strange. Shosho, that the Cole family brought Ethan Cole to the door, saying they came to propose marriage. Proposing marriage? I was almost laughed to death out of anger. Has Ethan Cole lost his mind? At this point, he still wants to save his company by marrying me? What makes him think that I would still marry him after I exposed his true colors and after he humiliated and retaliated against me like that? What makes him think that our Sterling family would still accept him? "Mom, kick them out," I said. "Your father wouldn't let me." Mother sighed. "He said he wants to have some fun with them." I can roughly guess my father's intention. Sure enough, my father called me in the evening, his tone laced with a hint of jest. The Cole father and son came today, bringing a pile of gifts. Their attitude was so humble. I said I would consider it and let them go back and wait for news. "Dad, you're not really planning to." "Silly daughter," my father said with a laugh. "Am I that kind of person? I just want to snub them a little. Let them know that climbing the high branches of our Sterling family isn't that easy. Especially that Ethan Cole, after the way he treated you, he still wants to marry you." Dream on. Listening to my father's words, my heart felt warm. It's so nice to be unconditionally supported by family like this. 2 days later, Ethan Cole called me again. This time, his tone was no longer the frantic anger from before, but rather carried a strange arrogance and certainty. "Ava, or should I call you Ava Sterling?" My heart sank. He knows. "You thought you were hiding well?" He sneered. "The second young lady of the Sterling Group, running to the entertainment industry to experience life? What a great interest. What if I am?" I asked calmly. "What if?" He raised his voice, with a morbid excitement. "Ava Sterling, so you are the one I'm supposed to marry. Ha 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 ha. It backslashes like searching high and low only to find it right in front of you." I frowned. "Ethan Cole, what do you mean?" "What do I mean? I mean, We are a match made in heaven. He was frantic. You wait. I will go and tell your father right away that we are getting married. A powerful alliance. Sterling and Cole joining forces. The entire business world will be ours. Has this man been driven mad by the blow? Ethan Cole, have you forgotten that we've already broken up? And you betrayed me for the sake of the so-called Miss Sterling. That's different. He argued anxiously. I was blind before, not knowing that you were Miss Sterling. Now that I know, let's start over. I'll be twice as good to you. We'll get married. It will benefit both of our families. Benefits? I sneered. What benefits are there for me? Marrying a scumbag like you, then helping you clean up the mess, and then enduring your possible future cheating again? I won't. Ava, trust me. I'm serious this time. Your sincerity is worthless. I interrupted him. Ethan Cole, stop daydreaming. I will never marry you. Just give up. After hanging up the phone, I just felt nauseous. To get rid of these upsetting things, Noah Vance suggested that I move into his house temporarily. Their security is tight, which can isolate outside interference. I thought about it and agreed. Noah Vance's house is very large, decorated in a minimalist modern style, understated and tasteful. He arranged a guest room for me. The layout was very cozy, and he even prepared my usual toiletries and aromatherapy in advance. These details warmed my heart a little. During our time together, I discovered that Noah Vance is a very thoughtful person. He's very busy with work, but he always makes time to have dinner with me or chat. He never just silently handed me a glass of warm milk when I was feeling down, or put on a light-hearted movie. Once, we were sitting in the living room watching a movie, and he suddenly asked, "Still thinking about him?" I shook my head. It's not that I'm thinking about him. It's that I feel like I was really stupid before. He was silent for a moment, then said, "People always have to go through some things to grow." Then, like the last time in the car, he seemed to casually mention, "The person I like. She seems to be having some trouble lately." My heart tightened again. He really does have someone he likes. Moreover, judging from his tone, he seems to care about her a lot. Then, did you go help her? I asked. Yes, he nodded, looking at me with deep eyes. I am waiting for a suitable opportunity. I lowered my head, hiding the disappointment in my eyes. So, he is so kind to me, just out of brotherly concern, perhaps, and a promise to my father, but in his heart, another person already lives. Soon, it was my father's 60th birthday. The birthday banquet was held at the Sterling family's manor, and celebrities from all walks of life were invited, making it a grand occasion. As his daughter, I naturally had to dress up for the occasion. Halfway through the banquet, I was accompanying my father to entertain guests when I suddenly saw two uninvited guests walking in. It's Ethan Cole and his father, Robert Cole. How dare they show their faces here? Ethan Cole saw me, his eyes lit up, and he immediately walked over with a glass of wine, a smug smile on his face. "Ava, you look beautiful today." He deliberately ignored my father beside me, as if there had never been any unpleasantness between us. Robert Cole, on the other hand, approached my father with a flattering expression, trying to start a conversation. "Mr. Sterling, happy birthday." "Our two families." Father interrupted him, his tone calm but distant. "Mr. Cole, you're too kind. However, there doesn't seem to be anything for the Sterling family and the Cole family to discuss." Robert Cole's smile froze on his face. Just then, Father picked up the microphone, walked onto the stage, and cleared his throat. The whole room fell silent, and all eyes were focused on him. "Distinguished guests, thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend my birthday banquet." My father looked around the room, then turned his gaze to me, with love and pride. "Today, in addition to celebrating my birthday, I have an important announcement to make." He held out his hand to me. "I would like to formally introduce to you my daughter Ava Sterling, also the actress you all know, Ava Miller." He paused, his voice loud and clear. "She is the sole heir to my Sterling Group." As soon as the words fell, the whole place was in an uproar. All eyes turned to me in shock, especially Ethan Cole. The smile on his face instantly froze. His eyes widened like bells, his mouth slightly open, looking incredulous. He looked at me, then at his father on the stage, his face turning from red to white, then from white to green, and finally becoming as pale as paper. He finally understood. The Miss Sterling he had painstakingly tried to curry favor with was none other than Ava Miller, whom he had previously discarded like worn-out shoes and humiliated at will. He had personally pushed away not only a woman who loved him, but also a shortcut to wealth and status. The expression on his face changed from shock to confusion, then to remorse, pain, and despair, finally turning into a near collapse of madness. He staggered back a few steps, his eyes vacant, muttering to himself, "How could it be? How could it be you?" Just then, a sharp female voice broke the strange atmosphere of the scene. I didn't answer. "Ethan!" Suddenly, Olivia Reed burst in, her face pale, her hair disheveled, looking very embarrassed. She rushed straight to Ethan Cole, grabbed his arm, and cried, "Ethan, you can't leave me. I'm pregnant with your child." This sentence was like another bomb, exploding in the crowd. Everyone's eyes were focused on Ethan Cole and Olivia Reed, filled with contempt and a look of anticipation. Ethan Cole seemed to have all his strength drained away, collapsed on the ground, his eyes filled with despair. His fiancée, or so he thought, was his ex-girlfriend whom he had abandoned, and now a pregnant mistress has emerged. He was completely ruined. This farce ended with the Cole father and son being invited out of the manor by security. My father's birthday banquet unexpectedly became Ethan Cole's public embarrassment. This is probably the retribution he deserves. After the banquet, life seemed to return to normal. Ethan Cole completely disappeared from my world. It is said that Cole Industries is on the verge of bankruptcy due to a broken capital chain and internal management chaos. Robert Cole is overwhelmed, and Ethan Cole has become the biggest joke in Beijing. He didn't give up. A few days later, I received a text message from an unknown number. "Ava, I know I was wrong. Please give me another chance. Let's start over. I will definitely love you well this time." I directly blocked him. He changed his number, his tone becoming humble. "Shosho, for the sake of the past 3 years, let's meet, please," I replied. "Ethan Cole, have you ever thought that if I weren't Miss Sterling, would you still be begging me like this? You never loved me, but rather my status. Now, you've even lost me as a person, because you never cherished me. Get lost." He didn't reply again. In the film crew, Olivia Reed was becoming increasingly excessive. I hung up directly, knowing that my identity was exposed. She didn't dare to openly challenge me anymore, but she was always doing things behind my back. For example, deliberately making loud noises while I was filming, or hiding my props when I wasn't paying attention. There was a desperate madness in her eyes, probably because she knew she would never find a sucker like Ethan Cole to rely on again. I didn't want to pay attention to her at first, but she took advantage of my tolerance. Once, during a scene together, she actually took the opportunity to scratch my arm with her fingernails. I stopped and looked at her, my tone calm. "Olivia Reed, do you think I'm easy to bully?" Her face turned pale, and she forced herself to say, "What are you talking about, Ava? It was just an accident." "An accident?" I sneered. "Then let me show you what a real accident is." I didn't lift a finger, just gave a look. My assistant Chloe immediately stepped forward, grabbed Olivia Reed's hand, and said with a warning tone, "Miss Olivia, please mind your manners." Olivia Reed shrank back in fright and didn't dare to say anything more. She quieted down for a few days, then came up with new tricks. Suddenly, a large number of negative articles about me appeared online, saying that I was bullying people with my power, bullying colleagues in the crew, and that I got the leading role because I was supported by a sugar daddy. Someone even exposed photos of me being called to dinner parties before. Although the photos were blurry, combined with those rumors, it was easy to associate them with unspeakable transactions. Public opinion fermented instantly. Many of the netizens who once envied and supported me turned to attack me, saying that my image had collapsed and that I was inconsistent. What rich daughter experiencing life? I think she's just selling herself. No wonder she can play the lead role. So she relies on a sugar daddy. Bullying colleagues? This kind of person should get out of the entertainment industry. All kinds of dirty and abusive language came overwhelmingly. I looked at the abuse on the phone screen and felt a chill in my heart. This is cyberbullying. Fortunately, most of my colleagues and Director Evans and the crew were very clear about the facts. Director Evans specifically came to me and comforted me, saying, "Ava, don't pay attention to those messy things. We all believe in you." Several colleagues with good relationships also sent messages to support me. But those malicious speculations and attacks sting me like poisonous snakes. On Christmas Eve, the crew finished work early. I sat alone in the lounge. It was snowing lightly outside, and I felt particularly lonely. I received a message on my phone, "I'm waiting for you outside." It was Noah Vance. I was a little surprised. Wasn't he away on a business trip? I walked out and saw his car parked on the side of the road. He rolled down the window and smiled at me. "Get in." I got into the car, and he handed me a cup of hot milk tea. "Warm your hands." "Aren't you out of town?" I asked. I nodded. I rushed back. He said casually. The car was very warm, and he had a trace of coldness on him, probably because he came straight from the airport. "I saw everything online." He looked at me with pity in his eyes. "Don't take those words to heart." I responded, my nose feeling a little sore. "I know you don't want to rely on your family and want to prove yourself." He paused, his voice low. "But have you ever thought that sometimes accepting help from others isn't weakness? People who love you will be willing to do anything for you." I looked up at him, his eyes gentle and focused. "Ava." He suddenly took my hand, his palm warm and strong. "I like you." His previous words echoed in my mind, the person I like. I'm waiting for the right time. So, the person he likes is me? You. What did you say? I was a little incredulous. I said, "I like you," he repeated, his tone serious. "Not the kind of liking between siblings, but the kind where I want to be with you, take care of you, protect you, and love you." My heart was beating fast, like it was about to jump out of my chest. "But," I was a little confused, "didn't you say that the person you liked was in trouble?" He smiled, with a hint of helplessness and indulgence in his smile. "Yes, she is in trouble." "Aren't those online attacks trouble?" It was then that I realized that the person I like he was talking about before had always been me. Tears flowed uncontrollably. It wasn't sadness. It was emotion. It was feeling wronged. It was the joy of finally being firmly chosen. He gently wiped away my tears. "Don't cry. It's not worth getting angry at those people." I choked. "I like you too." A hint of surprise flashed in his eyes, and then he hugged me tightly. That Christmas Eve, we officially got together, held in Noah Vance's arms. I felt an unprecedented sense of security. I decided to stop running away from my identity. Since Ethan Cole and Olivia Reed want to make a fuss about my identity, I'll just make it public. I want everyone to know that I, Ava Miller, am the second young lady of the Sterling Group. I'm not relying on any sugar daddy. I've simply returned home. I told Noah Vance about my decision, and he expressed his support. I also told Chloe about my plan. Chloe's eyes welled up with excitement after hearing this. "Sister Ava, you're finally willing to rely on your family. That's great. Let's see how those who bully you can still be so arrogant." I smiled. "From now on, you will be my agent, and together we will change those unfair rules, bit by bit." Chloe nodded repeatedly, immediately entering work mode, and began preparing public relations materials. We sorted out all the evidence overnight, photos of me as a bit player, my daily life of eating boxed lunches and sleeping in the lounge on set, the injuries I suffered from filming hard, email records of me attending various auditions, and chat screenshots of my father supporting my independent struggle. The next morning, I posted a Weibo, no lengthy essay, just a few simple sentences. "I am Ava Miller, and also Ava Sterling. I once wanted to prove everything on my own, but now, I choose to go home. Thank you to all who have supported me, and let those who try to defeat me through rumors and attacks see that I am not alone in this fight." The accompanying pictures are a photo of me and my father, and some photos of me working hard on set. The Weibo post immediately went viral. My fans, crew colleagues, and director Evans all forwarded it to support me. Those who used to attack me were dumbfounded. The second young lady of the Sterling Group. This identity silences all their rumors. For those who say I rely on a sugar daddy, can a sugar daddy be more powerful than Sterling Group? For those who say I bully my colleagues, who would dare to bully the eldest daughter of the Sterling family? Olivia Reed became the target of public criticism. Everyone started digging into her dirt, and her relationship with Ethan Cole was exposed. Her previous Weibo post flaunting a sports car became a face-slapping scene. My parents saw the photos of me getting injured on set and were so heartbroken that they shed tears. Noah Vance hugged me and whispered, "It won't happen again. I will protect you." I decided to use my identity and Noah Vance's support to completely change some of the unhealthy trends in this industry. I shook my head. I contacted director Evans and the producers at Horizon Pictures, and I demanded, in no uncertain terms, that Olivia Reed be replaced. The producers were hesitant. After all, Olivia had brought investment with her. I said, "Sterling Group will cover all the losses she brings, but I cannot accept an actress who maliciously harms her colleagues remaining on set." At the same time, Noah Vance also put commercial pressure on Horizon Pictures. Soon, the news that Olivia Reed had been fired from the crew spread. This is just the first step. I told Noah Vance that I had decided to reveal my identity and use my family background, not to show off or take revenge, but to empower myself to change some unreasonable phenomena. I don't want to see young actors like me, or those with even less of a background than me, being subjected to those unspoken rules and unfair treatment anymore, I said. He looked at me with gentle but firm eyes. I understand and support you. Whatever you want to do, I'll be with you. A few days later, Noah Vance told me some news. Ethan Cole has been taken away by relevant departments for suspected money laundering. It turned out that the financial problems of Cole Industries were not just due to poor management, but there were deeper illegal activities behind them. Ethan Cole disappeared from my life completely. He didn't leave a trace. My career is thriving with Noah Vance's support. I no longer need to hide my identity and can openly do what I like. My relationship with Noah Vance also became increasingly close. He would visit me on set while I was filming, bringing me hot soup. He would give me a warm hug when I was tired. He would silently remove obstacles for me when I encountered difficulties. He used practical actions to show me what true love and protection are. I finally understood that true independence is not about enduring everything alone, but about having the right to choose and the confidence to rely on someone. And I have found the person I can rely on with peace of mind. All the past pain and grievances have been transformed into the driving force for moving forward. I don't regret my past choices, because they allowed me to see people's hearts clearly and made me cherish the present even more. The story continues in warmth and hope.